The bunk bed. I was a first-year college student who had just moved into the dormitory. The room had 2 bunk beds for 4 people. Since I arrived early, I chose the top outer bunk, the coolest and quietest spot. On the first night, my roommates shared ghost stories. One of the third-year seniors joked, "Someone once hanged themselves on your bunk bed." I laughed and said, "Don't scare me." But that night, I couldn't sleep. Around midnight, I heard a creaking sound below me. I assumed it was the guy on the lower bunk shifting around and turned to face the wall. But the noise continued. Creak, 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 steady and slow, like a rope swinging. I leaned over to ask if my roommate was okay, but the lower bed was empty. No one had been sleeping there. Startled, I sat up straight. The creaking continued, but now it sounded closer. Like something was suspended in the middle of the room. I didn't dare look. The next morning, I asked, "Who slept on the lower bunk last night?" All 3 of my roommates looked confused. "You were alone last night." I froze. I clearly remembered hearing footsteps enter, breathing below. The following night, I kept the lights on. As I started to doze off, I felt a cold breath on my ear. Then a hoarse, choking voice whispered, "That spot belongs to me." I screamed and jumped up. The light was still on, but I saw a handprint on the metal bed frame. Small, dark, and shriveled, like it belonged to someone long dead. I asked to change rooms the next morning. The dorm manager didn't ask any questions. But before I left, the old security guard looked at me and muttered, "That bunk? Lots of kids moved out of that room. But none of them ever described it like you just did."